Hello, Chibara here. Today we're at estarland, which is a retro game store located in Chantilly, Virginia. That is within the commuting radius of Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Northern Virginia. And today we're looking at their showroom floor, which has some limited business hours throughout the week. Now, today we're here on a mission. I have a grocery list of items, about 20 different things that I'm looking to pick up at the storefront. So I am here in the store to see what I can pick up. Now, before I went to estarland, they do have a website with a shop that you can purchase these items online, and they were showing as hopefully in stock. So I decided to forego the shipping and handling costs with purchasing it online and just went to the storefront instead. Now, of course, there are plenty of retro games from inbox to loose, and they have them throughout the entire history of video games. Now, in terms of my history with this game shop, I've got a lot of good memories with this. Back in the early 2000s, I picked up Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 for the N64, which was a Japanese import. Now, a big thing about this shop is that there are plenty of imported games for reasonable prices. Now, my hope here was to pick up some Nintendo DS games, some PlayStation 2 games, and some N64 games as well, and that was my hope going into it. Now, going to the shop itself, of course, everything's pretty nice and neat, but there are no prices anywhere. So that was my first red flag in of itself as to what anything costs. So apparently the only way to find out the pricing is to ask the associate behind the counter to research it for you because it varies by item. Now, any type of loose cartridges from the NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, N64, from some of those earlier 90s, early 2000s days are going to be pretty affordable, from $5 to $20 in loose form. If they come with instructions, they're going to be charging a bit more. There's plenty of Xbox and Xbox 360 and PS3 and some of the mid 2000 console generation games as well. Plenty of them in box and complete that might run a bit more. But I found it to be fairly competable for what you'd find online. But again, the challenge here is with respect to not having any prices and having to ask the associate behind the counter to go and look it up for you. The other issue I had was just being able to find loose or the Nintendo DS games that I was looking for. So unfortunately, if you're looking for a Nintendo DS game, possibly due to theft, a lot of them are apparently in the back stock room, and you will have to ask the associate to go and look it up for you. So I was here for over an hour, and I had just asked for a couple items before I essentially just gave up. And these were items that were showing as purchasable on their online website, but were not discoverable within the store. So another thing to add on top of that is that if you're looking for anything that is a more wanted game or something that's a little bit more rare, even to a very minimal amount of being rare, you're not going to find it. So all the heavy hitters you're not going to find in store. It was a great nostalgia bait to be able to look through the different loose games and see Super Star Wars and to find the NES Ninja Turtles. There's plenty of Shaq Foos in here for anybody that wants to find where all the Shaq Foos, the unpurchased Shaq Foos, have gone to. Royal Rumble, which is a game that I used to own back in the Super Nintendo days. Buster Bust Loose is another one that I have fond memories of. Just a great platformer for the Super Nintendo. Batman Forever for those that like that game. But Shaq Fu is where it's at. And it's pretty cool to see the manuals kind of combined with the game for sale, so you can have those nostalgic memories of flipping through the instruction manual. But again, to go back to the fact that there's no heavy hitters, I tried to get WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain on PS2. Nope, not there. Trying to find Animal Crossing, any of the ones for the DS. Nope, not there. Trying to find some of the Super Mario games like Super Mario 64 DS or Mario Kart for DS, or some of the ones that you'd expect to find. Nope, not there as well. So unfortunately, my luck had run out here. And I began to wonder if it was just mainly that some of these retro game stores are becoming more like your common day comic book stores. There's isn't much of a necessity for these besides just having the experience of flipping through nostalgia, of just being able to experience going through a shop floor and looking at these original cases, looking at some of these original boxes as they were originally released. It's great to see some of the import items as well from the large history of consoles like these PSP games. I saw plenty of Sega Saturn and Dreamcast and the like. But unfortunately, it's just one of those things where I don't want to resort to emulation. I want to play the actual cartridge, and I'm just not having the luck that I was hoping for. So definitely a downer. Unfortunately, I came out with more of a uh, just purchasing some more movie based or shovelware. And that wasn't what I was hoping for. I was hoping to get some of those heavy hitters, or at least those basic Super Mario games that I expect to find in these stores. Great to see the Intellivision and Atari games in their original boxes. That was neat as well. But again, if you're looking for prices, you're going to have to ask the associate behind the counter. So, what did I come out with at the end of this little trip? I came out with two 007 DS games and a charger for my 3DS. In terms of the games themselves, the GoldenEye 007 game, this is not Rogue Agent, this is the GoldenEye remake on the DS by developer N-Space, is your pretty standard first-person shooter with some nostalgic throwbacks, the original N64 game. A little bit of fun. Was glad I was able to pick this up. This is around $6 loose cartridge for the DS. Pretty fun to be able to either use the button mappings to move around and look around. So pretty fun nonetheless. My more favorite here is Bloodstone 007. This is a essentially demake of what came out in consoles, but has all the same story elements that you'd expect from its big brothers on consoles. And there's plenty of story elements, there's plenty of voice acting, there's plenty of music and cues from the James Bond series with Daniel Craig. A lot of fun, and to be able to move around with the stylus, it is a bit taking getting used to, but definitely a fun thing to pick up for around $6 or $7 for the DS. Definitely a good choice if you're looking for something that is one of those head scratchers as to how they demake these video games for the DS, but still keep all the story and a lot of the action that you're hoping for. It's a fun game. And definitely something that I was glad to pick up for around $6 or $7 loose. So with that, guys, I hope you liked some of my misadventures in trying to pick up retro games in the stores nowadays. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.